Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. The message blinked across my phone screen at 10:48 p.m. Just bought it. Love you. See you in 4 days. Red heart hash. My wife, Mia, had sent it with a photo of her and her best friend, Claire, standing at the airport. The background was blurry, but their smiles were wide, almost too wide. I stared at the image longer than I should have, something uneasy prickling at the back of my mind. I couldn't name it then, but it sat heavy in my chest like the calm before a storm. Mia said she was going on a girls' trip to the coast, something she claimed she desperately needed after months of stress. I hadn't objected. I loved her. I trusted her. Or at least, I thought I did. But that night, after she was supposedly gone, I heard a sound I couldn't explain. It was faint at first, a car door closing. Then laughter. A woman's laughter. It echoed just outside our house. I froze in the living room, my beer half raised, my pulse hammering so loud it drowned the TV. I walked to the window and parted the curtains. Mia's suitcase. The same one I'd carried to her car earlier that evening. It sat in our driveway. And then I saw her. Not at the airport. Not on some beach with her best friend. She was in our neighbor's car, leaning across the console to kiss him. Slow. Familiar. Intimate. The kind of kiss that speaks a language you only learn with time. My stomach turned to ice. My hands trembled so violently the bottle slipped and shattered against the tile. I didn't feel the glass cut me. I didn't feel anything. All I could do was watch. She laughed again, brushed her hair from her face, and said something I couldn't hear. He reached for her hand, and they drove off together into the night. That was the moment something in me broke, not loudly, but quietly, like glass underfoot. I didn't storm after her. I didn't call or text. Instead, I sat on the floor surrounded by broken glass and stared at the photo she'd sent. That forced smile. That look in her eyes that I'd mistaken for excitement. I realized it wasn't excitement. It was guilt pretending to be joy. The next morning, I called Claire. Hey, I said, forcing my voice to sound casual. Did you guys make it safely? There was a pause. A long, uncertain pause. Yeah. We're just getting breakfast, she said finally, her tone off. I almost laughed. That's great, I said. Tell Mia I hope she's having the time of her life. She hesitated again. Of course, she whispered, then hung up. That hesitation told me everything. Over the next 2 days, I went through a kind of quiet madness. I checked our shared credit card. Hotel bookings. Messages. She'd been planning this for weeks, meticulously covering her tracks. But what shattered me most wasn't her deception. It was how easily I'd believed her. By the third day, I was done feeling sorry for myself. I wasn't going to scream or beg. I was going to end this, with precision, not rage. I called Claire again. Listen, I said calmly, I know she's not with you. Her breath hitched. What? You don't have to pretend anymore. I saw her. Silence. Then a soft, defeated sigh. I told her not to do this, Claire murmured. She said she'd end it before you found out. My voice cracked. End what? She's been seeing him for months, she whispered. Your neighbor. It started when she helped him plan his renovation. I tried to stop her, I swear. I closed my eyes, the world tilting. Why tell me now? Because she lied to both of us, Claire said. She told me she'd actually gone through with the trip. I'm not covering for her anymore. That's when the plan formed, not out of vengeance, but clarity. I called my lawyer the same day. By the time Mia returned, the papers were ready. When she walked through the door 4 nights later, her face was flushed, her hair perfectly styled, and her suitcase freshly unpacked, like she'd never left. She smiled, pretending exhaustion. Hey, honey, the trip was amazing. Yeah. I said softly. Claire said the same thing. She froze. The lie slipped for a moment, her smile faltering. Claire? You talked to her? I nodded. We even had lunch. We both wished you a great time while signing the divorce papers. Her face went pale. You, what? I placed the envelope on the table. You didn't even try to make it believable, Mia. The suitcase, the picture, the fake flight number. I let out a shaky breath. Did you think I'd never find out? Tears welled in her eyes, but they weren't tears of remorse, they were of exposure. I didn't mean for it to go this far, she whispered. You already did, I said. You went farther than I ever could. She reached for me, but I stepped back. The smell of his cologne lingered faintly on her clothes, stabbing me with quiet certainty. I loved you, she said, voice breaking. No, I said softly. You loved the idea of what I gave you. Stability. Safety. A place to hide while you looked for something exciting. Her tears fell harder. Please, don't do this. We can fix it. I wanted to believe her. For one fleeting second, I almost did. But then I remembered her laughter in the dark driveway, the way she looked at him like I was already gone. There's nothing left to fix, I said, pushing the papers toward her. She sank into the chair, signing with trembling hands. The sound of the pen scratching against the paper was the quietest, most devastating noise I'd ever heard. When she was done, she looked up at me, eyes hollow. What now? I smiled faintly. Now you're free to go wherever you were really headed that night. As she left, dragging her suitcase out the same door she'd returned through, I felt no triumph, just the hollow calm of a storm finally passing. Later that night, Claire texted me, "You okay?" I stared at the message for a long time before replying. No, but I will be. And for the first time in days, I believed it.